All right, the big story that we're tracking from Assam, there is a rapid surge in Covid-19 cases across the state of Assam. In fact, the latest shocking story that we're tracking is 90 workers and staff members at the Zaloni Tea Garden in Assam have tested positive. This is the tea garden in Upper Assam, Dibrugarh district. The Dibrugarh district administration has declared this tea estate as a containment zone and shut down the garden. Now, tea-based organizations, remember, have been demanding vaccination in the tea garden areas on priority, since there is a possibility that COVID would spread faster in tea gardens, given the fact that workers in the gardens work in close proximity. My colleague Ratnadeep, tracking the details of this story, joins us with the very latest. Ratnadeep, cases in Assam continue to rise. This has been something that we've seen. We know that educational institutions have been shut down from today. Meanwhile, what you're reporting on is this worrying cluster of infections that's emerged in the tea gardens.
That's right. In fact, Assam is actually turning grim in terms of the COVID-19 situation, given the fact that for the past couple of days, more than 4,000 cases have been reported per day. And yesterday, actually, Assam recorded its highest death of 55 people, and that's why perhaps the government has imposed new restrictions as far as with containment zones and reducing the time of opening up of shops and business establishment. But one of the major reason of worry had been the tea garden areas. Remember, the tea garden areas, particularly in Upper Assam, are areas which are otherwise isolated. And in the first wave of COVID, we didn't see much of infections among the tea garden workers, which, remember, they are most vulnerable because they live in labor lines, and where social distancing is a problem. Hygiene issues are there in the tea garden areas, particularly among the labor lines. Assam has more than 800 tea gardens, and lakhs of workers work there. But yesterday, what has raised alarms is that 90 workers and staff members of a tea garden in Upper Assam have been tested positive. Now, that garden has been turned into a containment zone. Now, vaccination process has started in that tea garden, and more testing is being done. But what is alarming is that if this kind of trend continues in other tea gardens, then it will lead to a major crisis, and that is something that now the administration is looking forward to how to contain it. Also, the fact that in Assam, with the number of positive cases, number of symptomatic cases increasing, there is acute pressure developing on the number of beds available. Particularly in Guwahati, also the beds are running out, and therefore now the government has reached out to the Indian Railways, the Northeast Frontier Railways, which mans the railway operations in the Northeast, has come up with railway isolation centers. These are railway coaches which have been turned into isolation centers for treating mild symptomatic patients, about 150 coaches, in which each of the coach can actually allow 16 people to be treated. We did visit one of the isolation centers.